Hey guys, Nico here.
Hello, and my name is Sebastian.
So today we're going to be explaining the entire process towards the participation in the testnet rewards.
Yeah, we want to clear up any confusion you may have about the Shelly testnet. And first, to make sure we're all on the same page, we're going to kind of write out what's going to happen on this whiteboard.
Cool. So let's get into it. Let's see it. So from the beginning, what we have right now is that we are in mainnet at the Byron era, right? So what is going to happen that there is this specific term called a snapshot that's going to happen sometime during November. We don't have the specific date yet, so we are waiting for IOHK to tell us, but it should happen in November. So basically what the snapshot means is that if you have, let's say, 50,000 ADA in mainnet, you are also going to have 50,000 ADA in the testnet reward. Something important to mention is that at the same moment that the snapshot happens, that's not the start of the testnet reward. Probably that's going to begin later on. So maybe here we are going to have the beginning of the testnet. So what do we need for the snapshot?
Yes. So the two most important things is to one, make sure you move all your ADA from an exchange to either Yoroi or Daedalus. And second is to make sure you move any ADA you have on a hardware wallet to either Yoroi or Daedalus in a non-hardware wallet version.
So basically, if you want to participate in the testnet reward, you need to move up from an exchange or a hardware wallet. And something interesting, why would you like to participate in the testnet reward? Something that is been running and is that you are going to get rewards in the testnet rewards, and those rewards are going to be added back to the mainnet. So that's super interesting. And why is this being done? Because this way we are going to be incentivizing like the community to participate in the testnet, and this is going to be like pretty good for like validation that the protocol behaves well when there is like a lot of pressure and a lot of people using it.
Yeah, so in this video, we're going to talk about, from high-level overview, how well will Emergo products support the Cardano testnet.
Okay, so for the snapshot, what do you need to be ready? As Seba already mentioned, we have Yoroi for Chrome, Firefox, and others. Is going to be a snapshot ready. So during the snapshot, you don't need to do anything. You don't need to have your computer open. You don't need to do anything. So if you have 5,000 ADA in your Yoroi wallet, you are going to have them for the testnet. But again, it's super important that in Yoroi is not inside a hardware wallet.
And we'll have a video on our YouTube channel that shows you how you can easily transfer your ADA balance from a hardware wallet to a regular wallet.
Also, Yoroi Mobile is already snapshot ready. So if you have ADA in the iOS or Android app of Yoroi, you are snapshot ready. Also, as you may know, Daedalus is compatible with the snapshot. So these are the three solutions that currently you can use, and they are going to be supporting everything that's related to delegation in the reward testnet. So related to dates, again, the snapshot should happen sometime in November. We don't have a clear date yet, and after that, maybe a couple of weeks or a month later, we don't know yet, the testnet reward is going to start. And what is going to happen that eventually this is going to merge back to mainnet. But for example, if you have 5,000 ADA here, and here you have 5,000 ADA because of the snapshot, and you got, let's say, 500 ADA as rewards, only these rewards are going to be added back to mainnet. So I think this is like the foundation of what is going to be happening with the testnet reward. Something we are going to be going in more details in the next following video.
Yes, definitely check out the next video where we have a Q&A where we answer common questions by the community.
Hi guys, Nico here.
Hey, and my name is Sebastian. And this Q&A session will also have Florian here, who is helping us read out the questions.
So people have been asking a lot of questions online. We gathered them into a list, and the first one is, what is the incentivized testnet?
So we already went through that question in the previous video. So if you still don't know about it, we highly recommend to watch the previous video.
The following one is, when is the snapshot going to happen?
Yeah, that's going to be up to IOHK. So definitely follow IOHK on Twitter or any other medium to find out when the snapshot will happen.
But what we know so far is that it should happen sometime during November.
Will the snapshot capture my ADA from mobile and desktop Yoroi wallets?
Yes, as long as you are not using a hardware wallet or an exchange, you have nothing to worry about. We have a video that describes how to transfer your ADA from a hardware wallet to Yoroi, so definitely check out that video if you haven't already.
Something important to also add is that Yoroi for Chrome and Yoroi Mobile is similar to, for example, Gmail. So you can see your email in mobile, or you can see your email in desktop. So you don't need to basically create a new email account for mobile and a new different email account for the desktop. What do this mean is that, for example, if Yoroi Mobile doesn't get to have delegation for staking from the first day, you still can use your same ADA that you had in the mobile in Chrome, and you're going to be able to delegate during the first moment. We are working really hard to have Chrome and mobile ready for since the first moment, but there is some chances that maybe mobile it could get a little bit delayed.
Yeah, so as long as you have your 15 words, you can use the same 15 words on both Yoroi Mobile and Yoroi, the extension.
I'm using the first version of Yoroi, or an outdated version of Yoroi. Will I be able to participate in the testnet, or do I need to update to the latest version of Yoroi?
So how it's going to go for the testnet is that we're going to have two versions of Yoroi extension. One that's going to be for mainnet, and another one that's going to be for the testnet reward. So it's important for you that you know what are your 15 words, so you can recover your account in this new version of Yoroi for testnet.
Yeah, and so important to know that this new version of Yoroi will appear after the snapshot. So you don't need to download this new version before the snapshot, nothing to worry about.
Which wallets will be captured in the testnet? Just Daedalus and Yoroi? Will ADA Lite be accounted for?
So no matter which wallet you use, as long as you remember your recovery phrase, you should be able to use either Yoroi or Daedalus with the same recovery phrase, and everything will just work. So we can't speak about ADA Likes, it's not our product, but we can say that we know for sure Yoroi and Daedalus will be supported.
So if you guys want to play it safe, we recommend that before the snapshot, you move your funds to Yoroi or Daedalus.
If I have ADA on a Ledger device and want to participate in the testnet, what must I do?
Yeah, so as we mentioned earlier, we're gonna have a video that explains how to easily move all your ADA from your hardware wallet to different wallets, either Yoroi or Daedalus. So definitely check out our other video on this subject.
So basically what is important that for the testnet reward, you need to have your recovery phrase. This could be like 13 words or 15 words, and this is like the important part. So if you have it in a hardware wallet, you're not going to be able to recover it through this new version of Yoroi for testnet.
Now, if I don't want to participate in the testnet, is my ADA safe if it's stored on a Ledger device?
Yes, if you do not want to participate in the incentive testnet, there's no action required. No matter if you're using Daedalus, Yoroi, mobile, or extension, you don't need to do anything.
Will Yoroi automatically delegate my stake for me and how do I stake?
So how is this going to go for the first time once the testnet is live? Is that you are going to download this new version of Yoroi for testnet. You're going to put your recovery phrase in Yoroi, and you're going to have a view where it's going to show all the balance that got copied during the snapshot. Then you will have a new section that is going to be where all the stake pools are going to be shown, and you're going to be able between a list of stake pools that's going to be pre-sorted for like desirability, which ones are going to give you like the most rewards. You're going to pick one of those, you're going to put delegate, and you're going to be able to delegate all your ADA at once. So this is a manual process, so it's not going to be automatically done, but once you do it once, you don't need to come back to Yoroi to re-delegate.
Next up is, what is the incentive for participating in the testnets?
Yeah, so when you participate in the incentive testnet, you'll earn ADA through staking. All the rewards you make on the incentive testnet will become real ADA on the mainnet once Shelly is launched.
Something else that's important to mention, that the percentage of the rewards that you're going to get haven't been defined yet. So if you hear about percentage going out around there are only guesses from the community because IOHK haven't said like a specific percentage yet.
Once testnet is launched, anything that I do in the testnet, will it affect the mainnet?
So these are two different networks. So once the snapshot happens, they are totally independent. So everything that you do in testnet is not going to affect mainnet in any way, and also the other way around. Anything that you do in the mainnet is not going to get reflected in the testnet.
Will Yoroi wallet be ready for the incentivized testnet from day one?
Yeah, we think that the Yoroi extension for Chrome and Firefox will be ready on day one. We're working really hard to get Yoroi mobile ready on day one also, but it may be lagging behind by a few days. What that means is that if we end up in the scenario where Yoroi, the extension supports staking, but Yoroi mobile is still a few days away, you can use the exact same mnemonic used for your Yoroi mobile wallet to load your wallet on your browser extension and then stake that way.
So this will be something similar to when you use the Gmail app. You can use your same login in the mobile app, or you can use it in a web browser, and you're going to see the same account. What we are saying is that the web version is going to get the newest features first. We're going to try our best effort to also add it to mobile, but if not, you still can use the same credentials to log in and use it in the web.
Will there be tutorial or guides or videos for participating in the testnets?
Yes, definitely check out our YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed already, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll have videos walking you through the process.
Why aren't hardware wallets supported for the testnet?
So Shelly, as you know, is a totally different protocol, and the hardware wallets actually have all the logic that's required to create transactions, and also for Shelly we're going to have this new feature, which is delegation, which is not currently in the hardware wallet. So that's why they're not going to be quite there, because there is a lot of work that needs to happen in the coding of the hardware integration, and if we will have to wait for that, it will delay the launch of the testnet reward. And the feeling that at least personally, I have a feeling that testnet reward is something really exciting, so we all will prefer to launch it as soon as possible rather than to have to wait more extra time for Layer and Trezor to be ready.
Yeah, the important thing to note is that, for example, for Ledger, you can only ship a new version every month. So if we were to support hardware wallet for the incentivized testnet, every time we make a change to Shelly, we'd also have to wait 1 month to release the update for hardware wallet, so it wouldn't be a good user experience either.
What is the staking reward percentage?
We already went through that question, but basically it haven't been announced yet, so you need to wait for the communication from IOHK.
Which wallet will this staking reward be sent to? The wallets with which my ADA was on during the snapshots?
Yeah, when you delegate to a stake pool, you'll be able to specify a reward address. The important thing to note is for the incentivized testnet, you cannot withdraw ADA from this reward address. It will stay frozen, and once Shelly is released on mainnet, you will get access to those funds on mainnet.
Can I stake from a paper wallet?
The answer is through Yoroi, yes, and we haven't heard definitely answer from Daedalus, but maybe also it's going to be possible. But for confirmation, I would try to read the information from IOHK.
Will the stake pools be visible on Daedalus or Yoroi?
So in Yoroi, we will have an interface in our special version of Yoroi, the new extension that supports the testnet, where we'll show all the pools and you'll be able to pick your preferred pool for staking. Daedalus will also have a similar interface, so no matter which extension you're using, from within the wallet, you'll be able to see a list of all the stake pools and pick your favorite one.
Will Emergo have its own stake pool?
Yes, we in Emergo, we're going to have our own stake pools, and also we're going to be delegating some ADA, and we are going to be working with some community members on their stake pools, so we can also support them.
When will testnet Yoroi be available for download, and will it be able to coexist with my current Yoroi wallet?
Yes, it will be able to coexist, so you'll be able to have both downloaded at the same time. We can't give you a specific date because it depends when Shelly is released. So what that means is that the snapshot, as we mentioned in the previous video, will happen before the launch of the incentivized testnet. So after the snapshot happens, there'll be some period, maybe a few days, maybe a few weeks, it depends on IOHK. And after, there'll be the incentivized testnet that will be released. Once that incentivized testnet is released, we will also at the same time release the new version of Yoroi to download.
How long will the testnet last?
This is something that is going to be up to IOHK, and there's a lot of things that could come on, so it's difficult to guess. I will be waiting for more communications from IOHK to be sure, but so far apparently that at least we could have a couple of different testnets.
Is it better to hold ADA in Daedalus or Yoroi, or does it not matter?
It should not matter for the incentivized testnet. Both wallets will support all the features for Shelly for the incentivized testnets, and so you can feel free to pick your favorite one.
Will I have to create a new mnemonic for testnet Yoroi?
No, you will be able to use your same mnemonic as you used in the regular version of Yoroi.
Can I add more ADA to my testnet balance after the snapshot is taken?
After the snapshot is taken, there is no way to insert more ADA into the system. So you could add more ADA if you get ADA from your friends or from someone else, but there is no way that through mainnet or through an exchange you're going to be able to add ADA to testnet because it's a different network. So for example, in other words, if you buy ADA in a specific exchange, it's going to be ADA for mainnet, and it's not going to get reflected in testnet because the snapshot already happened.
Coming up on the last 3 questions, during the testnet, will I be able to send normal ADA through the mainnet as per usual?
Yeah, so as we said, they're 2 separate networks. So if you send a transaction on the mainnet, it will have no impact on the testnet. You can think of it like sending a Bitcoin transaction has no impact on the Cardano blockchain.
How many stake pools will there be?
Our goal is to have at least 1,000 stake pools, but we'll see how that happens. The reason it may not get to 1,000 is because we're going to have to spend time educating all the people interested in Cardano about how to run a stake pool, how to manage a stake pool. And that's the reason we want to have an incentivized testnet, so that all the people who want to run stake pools can use this opportunity to learn and be ready for when mainnet is released.
And finally, will staking from hardware wallets be available for the Shelly mainnet?
Yes, the idea is that once Shelly hits mainnet, all the hardware wallets that we are currently supporting, they are going to be compatible with Shelly, so you are going to be able to stake from a hardware wallet.
Thank you very much, Nicolas, Sebastien, for answering questions from the community. Some were a little bit similar, but I think that we have an opportunity to answer every single question that came from every single person. Hopefully the video was useful, and you guys are always available on Twitter, on YouTube to answer any more questions. So if you have any comments from the community, please do reach out to us. We'll try our best to update you.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
See you.
Thank you.